हरिः ओम् नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य पञ्चदशाधिकशततमः पाठः। भावाधिकारस्य अध्ययनम् अग्रे अनुवर्तिष्यते। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदुक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्तकौमुदीयं विरच्यते। भावाधिकारस्य अध्ययनम् अग्रे अनुवर्तिष्यते. So in the previous class we discussed the sutras till आक्रोशे वन्योर्ग्रहः प्रेलिप्सायाम्. तत्र परौ यज्ञे इति अपि सूत्रं दृष्टम्। उत्तरपरिग्राहः अधरपरिग्राहः इति प्रयोगौ दृष्टौ। अद्य अग्रे गच्छामः. So today the sutras are going to be simple. I would like to cover 12 to 15 sutras as the time permits. It's going to be unfortunately monotonous. We have to pick up sutras one by one. Next 2 or 3 classes is going to be like that till this particular sheet ends. So prarabhamahe तत्र प्रथमं सूत्रम् अद्यतनवर्गस्य नववृधान्ये परौ यज्ञे इति पूर्वस्मिन् वर्गे दृष्टम्। अद्य अग्रे गच्छामः। नववृधान्ये वृ इति धातुः नी इति उपसर्गः तत्र घञ इति प्रत्ययः भवति। सो नी प्लस वृ प्लस घय निवार इति तत्र रूपं भवति। सो वृ इति वृङ् वृयोः सामान्येन ग्रहणं। वृ इति धातुद्वयं विद्यते, उभयोः ग्रहणं भवति। नी शब्दे उपपदे नी इति उपसर्गः अस्ति। वृ इत्येतस्मात् धातोः धान्यविशेषे अभिधेये घञ इति प्रत्ययः भवति। सो वृ धातुः ऋकारान्तः धातुः अस्ति। अपोपवादः तत्र ग्रहवृद्रुदिश्चिगमश्च इत्यत्र वृ धातुः अस्ति। अप इति प्रत्ययः तत्र विधीयते। तस्य अपवादत्वेन नी इति उपसर्गस्य उपस्थितौ अत्र घञ इति प्रत्ययः विधीयते। नीवार, सो नी प्लस वृ प्लस घञ निवार, ह्रस्व निवार, and then we get a dirgha उपसर्गस्य घय अमनुष्ये बहुलम. So we have seen that sutra sometimes in presence of a ghaya pratyayanta word the upasarga undergoes a dirgha desha. Anubandha, for example, is another word that we discussed while talking about Unadi Sutras. So Nivara, this word comes in the Chamaka, Nivara, Shamaka, and so on, Masurashchami, and so on. So those of you who have studied Rudram, they know this word. It's a type of grains, dhanya. Nivara nama vrihayaha bhavanti. Dhanye iti kim? Nivara kanya, unmarried young woman, Nivara kanya. Tatra धान्यस्य निर्देशः नास्ति तर्हि अस्य सूत्रस्य प्रसक्तिः नास्ति. So very specific context, नि उपसर्ग वृ इति धातुः तत्र धान्यस्य निर्देशार्थं. So basically there is a grain named nivar in language and that word has been derived over here. So nivara नाम व्रिहयः भवन्ति. धान्ये इति किं? निवरा कन्या. अत्र कश्चन विशेषः ज्ञातव्यः. घञ प्रत्ययान्त शब्दाः नो चेत् अप प्रत्ययान्त शब्दाः सामान्य रूपेण पुल्लिंगे भवन्ति. सो इन द लिंगानुशासनम also we have seen a sutram called ghayabantah. So he writes this sutram over here. We can actually go to linganuशासनम. Here linganuशासनम, there is a sutram called ghayabantah. This one ghayabantah. So this says that ghaya pratyayanta words and the apa pratyayanta words, these are always to be used in the pullinga. So here when you are saying nivara kanya, this word is actually being used in the strilinga. So somebody asks a question that nivara ityatra tu grahavruddru nishchigamasha iti apa pratyayah asti. Tarhi atra nivara kanya iti स्त्रीलिंगे प्रयोगः कथं भवति? So the answer is what? निव्रियते इति निवरा कन्या. तत्र स्वभावेन अबन्तम् अस्ति तथापि इदं स्त्रियाम् एव वर्तते. किमर्थं? तत्र पुल्लिंगता प्रतिपादनं प्रायिकं वेदितव्यम्. So whatever you have seen in the linganuशासनम ghayabantah, this is basically a general rule. 99% of the cases you will follow this rule, but you have to eventually justify the prayogas. So nivara is a feminine prayoga in the language that needs to be justified. So that is justified by saying that whatever the sutra is there, it is for a general case. This is a very particular special case. Pullingata pratipadaram tat prayikam veditavyam. Not just that, upper pratyaya, the reason why upper pratyaya is only to be given in the pullinga or ghai pratyaya is only to be given in the pullinga is because in the strilinga we have a tin pratyaya and its apavadas in sheet number 9. So when you go to sheet number 9, there is an entire set of pratyas, tin, kyapa, ang, and so on, and all these pratyas are used in the feminine form. So this is the reason why the ghaya and upper pratyayas of sheet number 8 are restricted in the pullinga sense. So that is also explained over here in the Kaumudi. Tin vishaye api bahulakat apa. So ideally there should be a tin pratyaya, but eventually prayoga sharanaha vayyakaranaha, we have to somehow justify upper pratyaya. So tatra bahulakat कृत्यल्युटो बहुलं कृत्रत्य सर्वे प्रत्ययः बहुलं कुत्रापि भवितुमर्हन्ति. तत्र कृत्यल्युटो बहुलमिति योग विभागः क्रियते. You create a separate sutram called bahulam and then it gets anvaya with every krut pratyaya in the entire prakaranam to justify the prayogas. So tin vishaye api bahulakad ap atra ap iti pratyayः vidhiyate. तत्र दीर्घ स्त्री प्रत्यय स्त्री प्रत्ययस्य विधानम् इत्युक्ते टाप् प्रत्ययस्य विधानं कृत्वा निवरा कन्या इति अपि प्रयोगः भवति. So instead of tin we use an upper. Tin is in the feminine form, so upper can also be used in the feminine form is the essence over here. Pravaragauhu iti vat. So another example he has given, nivara kanya pravaragauhu iti anyad udaharanam. तदनन्तरम् अग्रिमं सूत्रं हियर नौवृधान्ये इति अस्माभिः दृष्टम् उदिश्रयति यौति पूद्रुवः. तदनन्तरं सूत्रम् उदिश्रयति यौति पूद्रुवः. श्री इति धातुः यु इति धातुः. सो श्रयति एंड यौति. श्री इति धातुः यु इति धातुः. I don't think why didn't I write other two. So pu iti dhatu, dru iti dhatu. Four dhatus are there and utta is the upasarga. So udi shrayati yauti pudruvaha. Shriya sevayam iti dhatuhu. You mishrana mishranayoho to mix. Puya pavane shuddhau ityapi asti. Dru gatau इत्येतेभ्यः धातुभ्यः अत्र घञ इति प्रत्ययः विधीयते. So shriya ikaramta dhatu asti. So a racha will give acha. You, pu, pu, all these are ukaranta. Dru is also ukaranta. So rudo, rapa will give upper. Everything has been blocked and we get a ghaya pratyaya in presence of the upasarga uda. So utta shabde upapade shrayata shrayatyadibhyah shrayati and others shrayati yauti pudru इत्येतेभ्यः धातुभ्यः घञ् प्रत्ययः भवति aj apoho apavadaha. So for some of them it is apavada for ach, for others it is apavada for apa. So he clarifies ajapoho apavadaha. Same has been explained in the Nyasa also. Shrayatehe ivarnam tatvat achoho apavadaha. Yauti prabhrutinam tu uvarnan tatvat apaha apavadaha. So apavada of acha in some cases, apavada of apa in some other cases. Ajapoho apavadaha. And then he gives examples. Utta plus Shri plus Ghaya, Uchraya. For you, Utta plus you plus Ghaya, Udyava. You will become Yau, Yau will become Yava, Udyava, Utpava, Udrava, and so on. All these words are to be used in the bhave sense. Take the corresponding kriya and the essence of that kriya, the bhava itself is indicated over here. Sometimes you also have akartari chakarake samnyayam. So non-kartari sense also the words you typically see these used. So for example, uchraya urdhva gamanam, rising, is basically called uchraya. Udyava, mishranayo, the act of mixing, or grains which are typically mixed together, they are called udyava. Utpava, it is a type of gruta, type of ghee which is used for purifying. So pung shuddhau pavane ityasmat dhatoh nirmitah asti. Udrava, something that goes, also used as a synonym of yuddha. So these can be derived either using bhave or akartari chakarake samnyayam. We'll not go in the individual, vyutpatti derivation. You can take a look in say Kalpadruma. So let's read Kaumudi also. Uchraya, Udyava, Utpava, Udrava. Same examples over here. And then in both the cases, he gives Kashika and Kaumudi. He takes a very beautiful line from Valmiki Ramayanam, from Ayodhya Kanda. So he says, Katham patanantaha samuchrayaha. So in Valmiki Ramayanam, there is a very beautiful slok. Many of you would already know this. It's also a famous standalone shloka, and it has this word called patanantaha samuchrayaha. Not sure if you can see this on the screen, but I think I've magnified it now. So let's read this shloka. Sarve kshayamtaha nichayaha patanantaha samuchrayaha संयोगा विप्रयोगांताः maranantam cha jeevitam. All the words over here are derived using sheet number 8. Various pratyayas given in sheet number 8. So sarve nichayaha kshayantaha. All the accumulations, it's actually written translation over here. All the accumulation of wealth becomes kshaya, it gets depleted towards the end. Samuchrayaha patanantaha, everything that gets risen, everything that rises eventually falls. Viprayo sanyogaha viprayogantaha, anything that comes together eventually separates. Jeevitam maranantam, anything that is born eventually dies. So the biggest philosophy of life. So nothing is permanent. So in this particular shlokam, samuchrayaha is the word that is used to indicate the act of rising up. Sama ut shri dhatu, and what we saw just now is uchrayaha. So samuchraya should be there. He uses samuchraya. Look at it again. Patanamtaha samuchrayaha. Shraya iti asti atra shloke. Asmabhi tu shraya iti atra sutre drushtam. Ataha prashnaha. Katham patanamtaha samuchrayaha. And what is the answer? Vakshamanam vibhasha grahanam. Always remember, anytime you fall into trouble, specifically in this sheet, invoke that kritya lyuto bahulam, make a yoga vibhaga, pick the bahulam, and you can justify that prayoga. So vakshamanam, the one that will be told, vakshamanam vibhasha grahanam iha sihavalokita nyayena sambadhyate. Kaumudi says bahulakat. So that was what I was talking just now. I read Kashika, but I was explaining Kaumudi. So Kaumudi says katham patanamtaha samuchrayaha bahulakat kritya lyuto bahulam ityatra bahulam iti yoga vibhagam krutva tasya atra sandarbha yojaniyaha. He gives a different example in Kashika. He gives a different explanation. He says vakshamanam vibhasha grahanam. A few sutras later, some 3 or 4 sutras. Oh, next sutra immediately. Next sutra, vibhashangirupluvoho. There is a vibhasha. So you can pick that vibhasha and bring it back. So you say that the ghaya pratyaya is by vibhasha, and therefore the fallback acha pratyaya will anyway come over there. So vakshamanam vibhasha grahanam iha sihavalokita nyayena sambadhyate. So you do an apakarsha, bring back the reverse anuvrutti of the vibhasha from the next sutram over here, and then say it is vikalpena ghaya pratyaya specifically for justifying this particular prayoga. Personally, I think bahulakat makes more sense, because if vibhasha comes as a reverse anuvritti, as an apakarsha, we again need to say it is a vyavasthita vibhasha. Just bringing vibhasha is not sufficient. We have to say vyavasthita vibhasha and then apply it only for justifying one prayoga. That is also okay, but a simpler way out, which you can always use everywhere, is this bahulakat. So katham patanantaha samuchrayaha. He is only explaining the problem over here in nyasa. Ut shabdasya upapadatvad ghaya atra bhavitavyam. Therefore samuchrayaha iti tatra prayogaha bhavet. परन्तु दृश्यते कः प्रयोगः समुच्छ्रयाः इति दृश्यते तत्र विभाषा ग्रहणेन तस्य व्यवस्थित विभाषा प्रतिपादनत्वात् नो चेत् बाहुलकात् अत्र रूपसिद्धिः भवितुम् अर्हति. So that is enough. I mean, that's all for Udishrayati Yauti Pudruvaha. Now we start the Vaikalpika Apavadas. So till Udishrayati Yauti Pudruvaha, it was a compulsory Ghaya. Whether Acha was being mandated by a different sutra or whether Apa was being mandated by a different sutra, both of them were compulsory blocked and we get a Ghaya. Now from this point, we have a Vikalpa. So continuously Vikalpena, 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 and so on till the end. So Ghai Pratyaya ends over here. Parau Bhuvo Vadnyani. The Ghai Pratyaya ends over here, and then the discussion of Acha will start. So remember this sheet, we have three sections. There is a top section of Ghaya, there is a middle single sutram of Acha, and then there is a lower section of Apa. We are now almost towards the end of the top section. We have completed the compulsory Ghaya part till over here Udishrayati Yauti Pudruvaha. Now we have some 5-6 sutras remaining towards the end. These sutras will give optional Ghaya Pratyaya. So if the original sutra was mandating Acha, you can retain Acha and bring optionally Ghaya. Similarly, if it was Apa, you can bring optionally Ghaya. So atra vikalpena ach pratyasa sarvatra apaha eva asti ap pratyasya apavadaha. विभाषांगिरुप्लुवोः अवेग्रहो वर्षः प्रतिबंधे प्रेवणिजाम रश्मौ च वृणोतेराच्छादने and parau bhuvo vadnyani. Very simple set of sutras, no complex discussion at all. So तत्र प्रथमं विभाषांगिरुप्लुवोः रु शब्दे इति धातुः तथा च प्लु गतौ इति धातुः एताभ्यां धातुभ्यां विकल्पेन तत्र घञ् इति प्रत्ययः विधीयते. So both dhatus are ukaranta dhatus. So rudor apa will give an apa that is kept as one option, and as another option we get a ghai pratyaya kutra angi upapade. Ang upasargaha asti chet ang plus plu no chet ang plus ru ityatra vibhasha ghaya pratyaya bhavati. Angi upapade rautehe प्लवतेः च विभाषा घय प्रत्ययः भवति आरावः. So ru plus ghaya will be arav, ru plus apa will be ru plus apa will be arav. So arav arav ubhayatra crying sound ityeva artha, to make a sound or to sound ityeva artha. You take the dhatu, whatever is the meaning of the dhatu, the same meaning will be applicable over here. प्लू इति धातुः अस्ति चेत् आप्लाव आप्लव to get wet or to take a bath or whatever the action of taking a bath and so on. So bathing. So आप्लाव आप्लव इति अत्र शब्द प्रयोगः भवति. So रौ, now look at this, रौतेः उपसर्गे रुवः इति नित्यं घै प्राप्ते. When you have a ru dhatu, the Ghai pratyaya was compulsory because of upasarge ruvaha. We saw this sutra much earlier, I think here. Upasarge all the way in the beginning. So ru dhatuhu asti, upasargaha asti chet tatra nityam ghaya pratyaya. We also saw these examples, samrava and uparava. This is being made optional. So ru dhatuhu asti, tatra samanya rupena tu apapratyaya bhavati. परंतु सोपसर्गात् रू धातोः उपसर्गे रुवः इति नित्यं घय विधीयते तस्य अत्र विकल्पः क्रियते. So this part over here is प्राप्त विभाषा. पूर्वं घय प्रत्ययः नित्यं प्राप्तः, इदानीं सः विकल्प्यते. Understand this once again. If you take standalone ru dhatu, it is apa. That apa is blocked by ghaya for an upasarga. So sopasarga ru dhatuh asti chet upasarge ruvaha iti tatra ghai pratyayah prapnoti. That ghaya is further being optionally blocked, or the compulsory ghaya has been made only optional because of vibhashangiruplavoho. So purvam praptaha idanim vikalpyate. So this is prapta vibhasha. First part of this sutram for ru, it is prapta vibhasha. What is happening for plu? It is ukaranta dhatu, so it is anyway getting an upper pratyaya. There was no scope for ghaya pratyaya, and the ghaya pratyaya is brought optionally. So plavatehe uvarnam tatvat api prapte. So for plu dhatu, ghay was not at all available and it comes optionally. So this is aprapta vibhasha. Purvam apraptaha vishayah idanim uchyate. So in this sutram, one component is prapta vibhasha, other component is aprapta vibhasha, and therefore this is ubhaya vibhasha. So ubhaya vibhashayaha कानिचन उदाहरणानि वदन्तु इति वदामश्चेत् विभाषाङ्गिरुप्लुवोः इति शक्यम् उदाहरणं वक्तुं शक्यते. So for ru it is prapta vibhasha, for plu it is aprapta vibhasha. As a combination we have ubhaya vibhasha. Agre gacchamaha. The next is अवेग्रहो वर्ष प्रतिबंधे. So vibhashangiruplvoho avegraho varsha pratibandhe. Let me remind this sutram. Earlier we discussed this. Akroshe vanyor graha. In yesterday's class itself we discussed this sutram. Akroshe vanyor graha. This sutram was also about ava plus graha. The current sutram is also about ava plus graha. So the context, or so the dhatu and the upasarga is exactly identical. The contexts are completely different. In akroshe vanyor graha, we were talking about akrosha, giving a curse using an abusive language. So hanta vrishala avagrahaste bhuyat and so on. So that particular usage is only for akrosha. The context is different. The dhatu is the same, graha, the upasarga is the same, ava. So here also we have ava plus graha, but the context is not akrosha, it is varsha pratibandha. Varsha is rain, parjanya, the rainy season basically. Pratibandha is that has been blocked. So rain doesn't happen for certain reason, drought happens. Iti tatra ashayah. So yatra varshayaha pratibandhaha bhavati, तत्र अव प्लस ग्रह इत्यस्मात् विकल्पेन घय प्रत्यय भवति. यत्र आक्रोशः उच्यते तत्र तु अव प्लस ग्रह इत्यस्मात् नित्यं घय प्रत्ययः भवति. यत्र वर्ष प्रतिबन्धः इति सन्दर्भः अस्ति तत्र अव प्लस ग्रह इत्यस्मात् विकल्पेन घय प्रत्ययः भवति. सो विभाषा इति वर्तते. अवे उपपदे ग्रहेः धातोः घय प्रत्ययः भवति. विभाषा वर्ष प्रतिबंधे अभिधेये. What is वर्ष प्रतिबंध? प्राप्त कालस्य वर्षस्य. वर्ष over here is varsha, is rain. प्राप्त कालस्य वर्षस्य कुतश्चित् निमित्तात् अभावः. Somehow, I mean, the example given are very weird, but let's take avagrahaha devasya. Because the god has become very angry, so he did not do the rain, or he did not send the water down. So avagrahaha devasya, the kutaschit nimittat, for some reason there is an abhava of that rain, that is called varsha pratibandha. Asmin vishaye तत्र विकल्पेन घय प्रत्ययः भवति. पक्षे ग्रहवृद्रु निश्चिगमश्च इति अप प्रत्ययः अपि भवितुम् अर्हति. सो अवग्राहः और अवग्रहः देवस्य. देवः तत्र अवगृह्णाति इति अर्थः. देवेन अवगृह्यते, तत्र देवस्य अवग्राहः. सो कर्ता गोes in the षष्ठी, obviously just like बालस्य हासः, देवदत्तस्य पाकः. In the same way you have देवस्य अवग्राहः or देवस्य अवग्रहः इत्यत्र षष्ठी भवति. Avagrahaha or avagrahaha, both of these words over here mean the effect of not having the rain. ग्रहवृद्रु निश्चिगमस्य इत्यनेन अप्रत्ययः प्राप्नोति, तस्य अत्र विकल्पेन अपवादः. पक्षे घञ् प्रत्ययः, पक्षे अपप्रत्ययः. वर्ष प्रतिबंधे इति किम्? padasya avagraha. Same example we saw that time also. Akroshe iti kim padasya avagraha. Breaking of pada, breaking of say leg or breaking of a word. So padasya avagraha, or so that's varsha pratibandhe iti kim ityasya udaharanam. Akroshe iti kim, last time also we saw the same thing. So vibhasha iti vartate avagraha avagraha varsha pratibandhe kim padasya avagraha. Okay, now somebody is asking a question: is this avagraha related to avagraha chihnam in writing? So probably not. I mean, if there is a remote connection over here, then I'm not aware. But in general, avagraha used in the writing is nothing to do with grammar. So vane asmin, whether you write vane asmin with avagraha or without avagraha, it does not matter. Vyakaranam is not about writing. Vyakaranam is about pronunciation. So uchcharanasya shastram asti. So pronunciation doesn't differ. You don't say vane asmin and so on. So in general, Vyakaranam does not contain rules about writing or not writing an avagraha. There are some traditional pundits who take this to the other extreme and who say that writing avagraha is wrong, completely wrong. So again, it depends on person to person. Usually you follow the normal traditions that people are following. You see avagraha written, so typically I also write it purely for understanding. Having said all this, is this avagraha the original root of that avagraha? So is this avagraha sign, that word has been originated by the sutram ave graho varsha pratibandhe? Sorry, by the avagraha word, not this, by the avagraha word, ava plus graha plus apa. Possibly, I mean, I don't know the exact connection, but one can think that this might be the possible case. So padasya avagraha, separation. So varsha pratibandhe bhidheye. If you write like that, it might be difficult to separate it out. So you write an avagraha which somehow acts like a separation between the two padas. So one might be able to justify it. This particular chihnam, the name of this chihnam comes from this particular avagraha padasya usage, one might be able to justify it. Agre gacchamaha. So there is some example somebody has quoted. Now it's a huge message, so I can't read it. But I think somebody has quoted a few examples of using the word avagraha somewhere in the Sahitya. So very nice. I mean, it is. I don't know from where it is, but they have pasted a big example. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure all these examples occur in the Sahityam. There are a few more comments. So somebody saying there is a difference, there is a definition of avagraha in Kalpadruma, Vyakaranoktehe sandhirahitya rupe. So the point we were discussing is that particular word avagraha, which is used over here, vane asmin or varsha pratibandhe abhideye, how is that word derived? Is it the ava plus graha plus apa used in sheet number 8? I don't know, possibly. I mean, it looks like a possible derivation. But anyway, agre gacchamaha. So we finished Ave Graho Varsha Pratibandhe. Let's take the next two sutras. Both of them are for the Graha Dhatu. Prevanijam Rashmaucha. Very specific context. So most of the sutras in this whole sheet are for a specific context. So Ave Graho Varsha Pratibandhe iti dattam idanim agrima sutra dvayam Prevanijam and Rashmaucha. So both these sutras have a common theme. They are used to indicate name of a string, a thread or a string in two very specific contexts. So that particular string, we call it pragraha. So that's pre iti upasargaha, graha iti dhatuhu, ghaya iti pratyayaha. So pra plus graha plus ghaya, pragraha, upadaha vruddhi, pragraha, or apapratyaya as other option because it's vibhasha. So pragraha. So pragraha or pragraha, these words, they were used to name some particular strings two different types of strings, and their names are being derived in two sutras, consecutive sutras over here. So in Prevanijam, the string that we are talking about is the string of a weighing balance. So when the weighing balance, not the electronic one, but the one that a person holds in the hand, and then it has two plates on two sides, and then in one plate he will put the weight, and the other plate he will put whatever rice or whatever other material he wants to keep. So the strings, the vertical strings that attach the top of that weighing balance to the individual plate, these these strings are being termed as pragraha or pragraha in this sutram Prevanijam. So that is the string that we are talking in the first sutram. And in the second sutram, we are talking about a string which holds the horses to the chariot. So Ashwanam Rathaihi Saha Yena Yojanam Kriyate Yaya Rajva Yojanam Kriyate Sa Rajjuhu Tatra Pragraha Iti Namna Jnayate. So these two are very specific contexts, and two sutras have been given. Let's take a look at each of them one by one. So Prevanijam, Vanik iti shabdaha, shopkeeper. So tasya sandarbhe, not necessarily Vanik. If you, for example, not a Vanik uses that particular tula, uses that particular weighing balance, still that thread will still be called as pragraha. So Vanijam is just an indication, just a reference over here. This is explained in the commentaries. So graha iti dhatuhu vikalpena प्रशब्दे उपपदे ग्रह धातोः विभाषा घय प्रत्ययः भवति प्रत्ययान्त वाच्यः चेद वणिजाम संबंधी भवति. So an instrument that is typically used by the shopkeepers, and then he clarifies immediately, vanik sambandhena tula sutram lakshyate. Tula is the weighing balance, sutram is the thread of the weighing balance. So tula sutram iti atra artha, natu vanijaha tantram, nothing anything other stuff related to a businessman or a shopkeeper, but specifically the sutram. And then he further clarifies, tula pragruhyate yena sutrena, the thread that holds that particular weighing balance, iti atra artha, saha asya shabdasya artha. So pragraha is the thread that holds the tula. This is akartari chakarake samnyayam, because a very specific word for that thread is being derived. Tula anena pragruhyate iti pragraha. So tula yaha pragraha, the thread of tula. Tula yaha pragraha, tula pragraha. Tena charati. Charati doesn't mean walks here and there. Charati means vyavaharam karoti, conducts the business, uh, gives or does the weighing and gives the material. So tula pragrahena charati, tula pragrahena charati. It's basically both the things are same. Tula pragrahena pragrahena. So somebody is saying, is it called, is it tula or is it tula sutram? So understand the difference between the two words. Tula is the weighing balance, the sutram is just that part of that weighing balance, so thread of that weighing balance. So you have the plates at the bottom and the standing vertical thread, which is probably connected to a vertical bar on the top. That is sutram, that is that particular thread. So tula pragrahena charati, tula pragrahena charati, tulayaha sutram, tulayaha rajjuhu, tula spragrahena charati. And somebody is asking, is it rasva ukara or is it dirgha ukara? I think it is rasva everywhere in the commentaries. Let's also take a look at the website. I don't think I have made a typing mistake over here, but I'll look at this. Oh, wrong sutram. Yeah, there is, it's rasva in the commentaries. So it's tula, not tula. Oh, I might have pronounced it wrong. So tula pragrahena charati, tula pragrahena charati. Vanik anyaha va. So he also clarifies that this sutram is not necessarily only to be used for a shopkeeper. It can be used for anybody as long as you are having that tula as long as you are having that pan or weighing balance, pan balance. So tula pragrahena charati, tula pragrahena charati, vanik anyaha va. Vanijam iti kim? Pragrahaha devadattasya. If there is a different type of string, say a whip, say used to control an animal, then you don't use this particular sutra. A very specific context is there given by the word vanijam. So vanijam iti kim pragraho devadattasya. Same thing explained in the Kaumudi. Pre grahe he ghai va vanijam sambandhi chet pratyayartha. Kaumudi commentaries are extremely dense. So that's the reason we first look at Kashika, we understand the whole context, and then Kaumudi flows like a smooth breeze. So pre ग्रहे घय वा वणिजाम संबंधि चेत प्रत्ययार्थः तुला सूत्रमिति यावत् तुला प्रग्रहेण वा चरति. So that is the first context. As I mentioned, both the sutras talk about some specific type of thread, some specific type of string. The first of this was the string of a weighing balance. The sutram was pre vanijam. Agrimam Sutram Rashmaucha. This Sutram also talks about the string, but this string, this thread is the one with which horses are connected to the Ratha. Ashwanam Rathena Sah Yojanam. So Graha Dhatoho Vibhasha Pre iti Sarvam Purvasmat Sutrad Anuvartate. प्रशब्दे उपपदे ग्रहे धातोः विभाषा घय प्रत्यय भवति. The context is different. Rashmihi. Kim naam Rashmihi? Rathadiyuktanam Ashwadinam Sanyamanartha Rajju. It might be the one that is directly connected, or it might be the one that is in the hand of the Sarathi and used to control it. So controlling can happen either by hitting them or can by pulling those strings which are connected to the Ashwas and the Ratha. So either way, it's called Rashmi. So Rathadi Yuktanam Ashwadinam Sanyamanartha Rajjuhu Rashmihi iha griyate. Again, a beautiful example of Dhralope Purvasya Dirghonaha. Rajjuhu or Rajjuhu Dirghokarantah api asti. तर्हि तत्र रोरि इति लोपः ह्रस्वकारान्तः स्वीक्रियते चेत् रोरि इति लोपः ढ्रलोपे पूर्वस्य दीर्घोण इति दीर्घः. रज्जु रश्मिः इह गृह्यते. Pragrah, pragrah, same words as the previous sutram. Everything is same. Dhatu is the same. Vikalpa is the same. Upasarga is the same. The context is different. Pragrah and pragrah are the two words derived over here. So that completes pre vanijam rashmaucha. केवलं सूत्रद्वयम् इदानीम् अवशिष्टं. वृणोतेराच्छादने and parau bhuvo vadnyane, and then we eventually end the ghaya pratyaya. So vrunotehe achhadane parau bhuvo vadnyane. Again simple. Pra upasarga purvakaha vru iti dhatuhu graha vrudru nishchigamascha ityanena sutrena तत्र अप इति प्रत्ययः प्राप्नोति. तस्य विकल्पेन बाधं कृत्वा अत्र घञ इति प्रत्ययः विधीयते. वृणोतेः आच्छादने प्र plus vru plus ghaya will become pravar. Sometimes the dirgha of the upasarga happens. Again, upasargasya ghaya manushye bahulam. I'm repeating that sutram again and again. It is a very powerful sutram. Let's actually take a look at this. We have studied this sutra when we studied the prakriya of ghaya pratyaya, but let me still bring it on the surface of memory. This is the sutram. Anytime the ghaya pratyaya is used, you can see the dirgha desh of the upasarga. You can see, not do. You can see bahulam. So उपसर्गस्य बहुलं दीर्घः भवति. कुत्रचित् भवति यदि अग्रे घय प्रत्ययान्तं कृदन्तम् अस्ति. घयन्ते उत्तरपदे अमनुष्ये अभिधेये बहुलं दीर्घः भवति. We saw this sutram a few classes ago, some 3 or 4 classes ago. So this is the sutram that is used over here also. Few slides earlier also I mentioned that sutram. So pra iti upasargaha, vru iti dhatuhu, आच्छादनम covering iti artha. Very specific type of covering, a name of a covering. can be a name of maybe a table mat or tablecloth or whatever, a curtain, some type of way, specific type of covering is being termed as pravara or pravara. So what is happening? Vara ityatra घञ् प्रत्ययः तत्र उपसर्गस्य घञ् मनुष्ये बहुलमिति दीर्घादेशः अपि भवति. प्रवर इत्यत्र तु औत्सर्गिकः अपप्रत्ययः अत्र दीर्घादेशस्य सूत्रं नास्ति. So you don't get a दीर्घादेश. This upasargasya ghai manusya bahul is specifically about the ghai pratyaya only. So yatra ghai pratyaya bhavati tatra kutrachit dirghadeshah kritah drishyate अस्मिन् उदाहरणे अपि दृश्यते. So विभाषा प्र इति वर्तते. प्र शब्दे उपपदे वृणोतेः धातोः विभाषा घञ् प्रत्ययः भवति. प्रत्ययान्तेन चेत् आच्छादन विशेषः उच्यते. Anytime you say vishesha, it means a certain name or a certain well-known term is being discussed over here. So again, this is akartari chakarake samnyayam. This is not a general process of covering, but it is achadana vishesha. So pravara. So as I mentioned, a specific type of curtain or tablecloth or whatever. Pravara. Vibhasha pra ityeva kaumudyamasti pravarah pravaraha. वृणोतेः इति तत्र वृ इति धातुद्वयम् अस्ति. तत्र वृणोतेः इति विकरणेन सह निर्देशः विशिष्टस्य धातोः चयनं कर्तुं. सो दैट इज एक्सप्लेन्ड इन न्यास. वृणोतेः इति श्नु विकरणेन निर्देशः वृङ् इति निवृत्त्यर्थः पक्षे ग्रह वृद्र निश्चिगमश्च इत्यादीना अप अपि भवति. I think we saw this earlier. So when we talked about this Nauvru Dhanya at the beginning of the class today, we saw these two dhatus. Vrung is from the Kryadi Gana and Vrui is from the Swadi Gana. So I think this one that he talks about is from the Swadi Gana. So that's the reason why he uses a specific Vikarna Pratyay over here that automatically gets rid of or cancels out the other dhatu from the Kryadi Gana. So Vrunotehe iti Shru Vikarnena Nirdeshaha Vrungaha Nivrutyartha Pakshe tu Graha Vrudru Nishchigamasha iti Apa Pratyaya api bhavati. Achadane iti kim? If the context is not there, you don't get the option. The only fallback is the Apa Pratyaya by Graha Vrudru Nishchigamasha. So Pravara. We also saw the example earlier, Nivara and so on. So Pravara, Gauhu, Nivara, Kanya are the examples in the case where the sutram is not applicable. Agre घञ् प्रत्ययस्य अन्तिमं सूत्रं परौ भुवो वज्ञाने भू इति धातुः अस्ति. अस्य धातोः विषये किं किं दृष्टं तदेकवारं पश्यामः. उपसर्गः नास्ति चेत् श्रीणी भुवोनुपसर्गे इति नित्यं घञ् प्रत्ययः. So we have seen so many different dhatus and special cases that working out is the only way to remember them. श्रीणी भुवोनुपसर्गे इति नित्यं घञ् प्रत्ययः. उपसर्गस्य उपस्थितौ तु उकारान्त धातुः अस्ति अतः अपप्रत्ययः. So that is the current stand. उपसर्गः नास्ति चेत् घञ्, उपसर्गः अस्ति चेत् अप. परौ भुवो वज्ञाने इति सूत्रम् इदानीं प्रारभ्यते. विभाषा इत्येव विकल्पेन, the whole vikalpa is coming all the way. परिशब्दे उपपदे भवतेः धातोः विभाषा घञ् प्रत्ययः भवति. अवज्ञाने गम्यमाने. अवज्ञान is disrespect, insult. अवज्ञानम असत्कारः इति अर्थः. So अवज्ञाने गम्यमाने भूधातोः परि उपसर्गस्य उपस्थितौ विकल्पेन घञ् प्रत्ययः पक्षे अप प्रत्ययः रुदोरप इति अप. So परिभावः परिभवः. So an insult or the act of insult is called paribhava or act of disrespect. Paribhava paribhava. Avajnane iti kim? Sarvataha bhavanam paribhavaha. In all other contexts, it will be only upper by rudo rapa. Paribhavaha surrounding sarvataha bhavanam iti arthaha. Somebody actually asked me the same question once again. Atra dirghaha katham bhavati. I think I spent a few minutes. You can look at the recording. Upasargasya ghaya manushye bahulam ityanena atra dirgha bhavati. I also explained the meaning of this sutram. This is the sutram by which atra dirgha deshaha bhavati. Anyway, so that completes parau bhuvo vajnane, and with this we complete the entire discussion of the Ghai pratyaya. We have three important pratyayas in this top section. We have ghai pratyaya, we have acha pratyaya in between, and then we have apa pratyaya. So let me give you again a big picture. In general, bhave and akartari chakarake samnyayam talk about the ghaya pratyaya for all dhatus. As an exception to that, we have a racha, which is the immediate next sutra now that we will study, that gives acha pratyaya for ivarnanta dhatus, and rudo rapa gives apa pratyaya for dirgha rukaranta dhatus and for rasva and dirgha ukaranta dhatus. So these are the biggest pillars, the biggest utsargas, and as an apavada to these, sometimes ghai will come, sometimes ach will come, sometimes apa will come. So ach doesn't come anywhere, it's just ghai or apa. So ghai was coming for all these sutras in the previous section. Sarvatra asmabhi kim kim drushtam achaha apavadaha nochet apaha apavadaha. So sarvatra pashyatu ach apopavadaha nochet achopavadaha ityenena prakarena tatra ghai pratyaya agacchati. Now the next sutram, so now the section of ghai is completed. Now the immediate next sutram is a racha. It will give the acha pratyaya for the ivarnanta dhatus, and then we will enter the apa pratyaya. In the beginning, there will be this rudo rapa sutram. We have not studied it yet. We have been just referring it again and again. So tasya idanim adhyanam kurmah. Rudo rapa iti sutrena apa iti pratyaya अन्यत्र सर्वत्र तदनन्तरम अप 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 इति बहुषु सूत्रेषु अप 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 इति प्रत्यय कुत्रचित् घञ् प्रत्ययस्य अपवादेन विधीयते, प्रायः कुत्रचित् अचः अपवादेन भवेत्, तादृशम् अत्र न लिखितं। प्रायः सर्वत्र घञ् प्रत्ययस्य अपवादत्वेन एव अप इति प्रत्ययः विधीयते. So let's take this next sutram a rach and rudorapa. Some interesting discussion for both these sutras. So a rach, now we have finished the the limit, or we have crossed the limit of the ghai pratyaya. We are now entering the second section, the section of acha pratyaya. Only one sutram e varnamta dhatubhyah ach pratyah bhavati. E he ach e varnamtah ityukte hrasva ikarantah dirgha ikarantah bhave akartri chakarake iti sarvam anuvartate yavat krutyalyato bahulam iti. So he says the anuvritti, just the ghai pratyaya is ending, anuvritti is not ending. He clarifies it. ई वर्णान्तात् धातोः भावे अकर्तरि चकारके संज्ञायाम् अच् प्रत्यय भवति घयोपवादः. So भावे अकर्तरि चकारके, both the sutras will give a ghai pratyay that has been blocked over here. घयोपवादः चकारः विशेषणार्थः. So ए रच इत्यस्मिन् प्रत्यये चकारः अस्ति. अयं चकारः स्वरार्थं तु नावश्यकः. So I have explained this in multiple times in the past. यत्र यत्र प्रत्यये केवलम् एकः एव स्वरः अस्ति, तत्र चकारेण स्वरविधानस्य किमपि न प्रयोजनं. यत्र अनेके स्वराः सन्ति, तत्रैव चकारेण विधानस्य प्रयोजनमस्ति. किमर्थं? चकारेण अन्तोदात्तत्वं विधीयते. इफ यू से, आई थिंक चित्तः इति सूत्रम, चित्तः इति सूत्रेण तत्र अन्तोदात्तत्वं विधीयते. So what this sutra says is that the last letter of the pratyaya, last swara of that samudaya will become udatta. Now if the pratyaya contains only one swara, then adyudattasya will itself make it udatta. So pratyaya swara will automatically make it udatta. If it is only one swara in the pratyaya, it is the first swara. So adyudattasya, all the way in the beginning, pratyaya parasya adyudattasya. So that itself will make it udatta. So you don't need chakara over there. So chakara is very useful if you have pratyayas that have more than one letter. Ishnuch, khishnuch, shanach, and so on. I think there was one homework also, or some question in the previous exam also, that asked about the purpose of chakara for various pratyayas. So ए रच इत्यत्र तादृशः चकारः न आवश्यकः, अतः तेन किमुच्यते चकारः विशेषणार्थः. And then he gives both the usages. Antah iti to avasham asti eva. So no, it's not, sorry, not antah. He says chakaraha visheshanartha, and he gives that visheshana, that context over here. So thatha ghai taja bitra kanam iti kinchana sutram vidyate. Will not go in the details of that sutram, but this sutram requires acha over here. So this sutram is specific to acha pratyaya. And if you just say a over here, other a pratyayas, for example, the one defined in the Striadhikara, can also come. So in order to avoid those, in order to specifically say we want only one ach pratyaya, we have this acha being added in this sutram and being referenced in this tha tha ghai ta ach ab itra kanam ityatra ach iti pratyayah asti tasya atra sandarbhah दीयते तस्य प्रयोगः अत्र क्रियते. सो इसेंशियली चकारः अत्र विशेषणार्थः अस्ति इति आशयः. चयः अयः जयः क्षयः. सो ही इज गिविंग वेरियस एग्जांपल. ची अस्ति चेत् चयः, इण अस्ति चेत् अयः, जी अस्ति चेत् जयः, क्षी अस्ति चेत् क्षयः, and so on. Again, all these have to be used in the bhave sense. Sometimes they can also be used in the akartari chakarake sense. Kaumudi chayah jayah, and so on. Then there is a vartikam given over here, also given in Kaumudi and Kashika. Interesting vartikam actually. Ajvidhau bhayadinam upasankhyanam. So he says words like bhaya are also to be are also to be understood, made from the ach pratyaya. So ajvidhau bhayadinam upasankhyanam. Bhayadis. And what are these bhayadis? He gives only two examples, bhaya and varsha. So he says consider the word bhaya and consider the word varsha as those made up of the acha pratyaya in this context. So what is bhaya? It is the bhava of being afraid. That is called bhaya. What is varsha? It is raining. We saw that word varsha pratibandhe. So the act of raining, that is called varsha. So the word bhaya and word varsha are to be considered made from the acha pratyaya in this context. Ajvidhau bhayadinam upasankhyanam. Now there is a very interesting, observation over here. There are two of these, bhaya and varsha, and वर्ष इत्यत्र वृष इति धातुः, तत्र वृष इति धातोः घ इति प्रत्ययः भवति. So obviously it is a halanta dhatu, there is no ikara ukara and so on, so it will get a ghaya pratyaya that we want to block and we want to give an acha pratyaya. So varsha ityasya atra samaveshah avashyam asmabhihi avagantum shakyate. Why? Because varsha was getting a ghaya pratyaya, we want acha pratyaya. So if therefore varsham iti atra ach pratyayasya upasankhyanam kritam asti. If you do a ghaya pratyaya, it will still be varsha, but swara will differ. So varsham ityatra varsha plus vrusha plus ghaya ityatra api पुगन्त लघु पदस्य चेति वृद्धिं कृत्वा वर्ष इत्येव सिद्ध्यति, कश्चन स्वरभेदः अस्ति इति मन्यामहे. The more interesting point is about the bhaya. The original dhatu is bhi over there. It is actually ikaranta dhatu. So anyway, a racha was giving an acha pratyay over there. It is anyway an ikaranta dhatu. Rasva va dirgha va tatra dosha nasti, because we have also seen I varnantad, which is rasva ikarat dirgha ikarat. So bhi iti dirgha ikaranta dhatu asti, tatra sutrenaiva ach pratyay krute bhaya iti shabdaha vidyate. तर्हि पुनः भय इत्यस्य अस्मिन् वार्तिके निर्देशः किमर्थम् इति तत्र कश्चन प्रश्नः उत्पद्यते. So what happens, why is the bhi dhatu, which can anyway get acha pratyaya by a racha giving a bhaya, is being included in this sutram? So that's what is immediately explained on the next word, napumsake ktadi nivrutyartham. So if you go to this sheet, you can see that all the way towards the end, napumsake bhave ktaha and lyutcha, these two sutras give the kta pratyaya and lyuta pratyaya for all dhatus. So understand this. In this sheet, what are the pratyayas that are applicable for all dhatus? By default, there is a ghaya pratyaya that is applicable for all dhatus by bhave and akartari chakarake samnyayam. but it is being blocked by acha and upper at various places. But if you go all the way down, तत्र क्त प्रत्ययः ल्युट् प्रत्ययः इति इत्यत्र उभयत्र सर्वेभ्यः धातुभ्यः प्रत्यय विधानं भवति. So we have seen this napumsake bhavektah while we discuss the nishtha sutras. Ramasya hasitam, Ramasya shayitam, and so on. Understand the difference. Ramena shayitam iti bhinnam. Tatra bhavakarmanoho nishtha sutrena kta pratyaya. Ramasya shaitam iti is different. This is the sleeping of Rama. Ramasya hasitam, the smile, the laugh of Rama. Tatra napumsake bhavektah iti kta pratyaya bhavati. This kta pratyaya, it does not have utsarga apavada relationship with ghaya. So no Vasarupa Vidhi or anything is being applicable. All dhatus get ghaya on one side, all dhatus get kta on other side, all dhatus get lyuta on third side. So all dhatus will get kta by saying hasitam, example. All dhatus will get lyuta, for example, hasanam. And all dhatus will get outsargika ghaya, for example, hasaha. So sarvatra ete trayah pratyaya bhavitum arhanti. तत्र घय प्रत्ययस्य अग्रे अपवादाः उच्यन्ते तेषाम् अध्ययनम् इदानीम् अस्माभिः क्रियते एव. But on the top there are three pratyayas. There is a kta pratyaya, there is a luta pratyaya, and there is a ghaya pratyaya. All of these can be used in the bhave sense. Having said that, for this particular dhatu, bhi dhatu, he does not want us to use kta pratyaya and luta pratyaya in the bhave sense. So bhi plus kta, bhita, the word that is generated, he says don't use it in the bhave sense. You can still use it in the bhava karmano sense. Ramena bhitam iti vaktum shakyate. Parantu ramasya bhitam iti prayogaha mastu. Bhita word should not be used in the for the kta pratyaya in the napumsake bhavekta sense, and there is no word called bhayanam. So you cannot use a lut pratyaya like hasanam, shobhanam, jaupanam, shayanam, and so on. You shouldn't use the word called bhayanam. So he says for the bhi word, ta and luta are both to be explicitly blocked, and therefore the bhi word has been again mentioned in the Vartika. अज्विदौ भयादीनाम् उपसंख्यानम् एतद् उपसंख्यानम् अच् विधेः कृते नास्ति नपुंसके क्तादि निवृत्त्यर्थम् अस्ति. What is क्तादि? आदीना ल्युडादि संग्रहः. So in the napumsaka we have the kta pratyaya, we also have the luta pratyaya. Both we will learn a few classes later, but these two pratyayas are applicable. In fact, ta we have already studied. Lut I'll teach a few classes later. But both these pratyayas are applicable for all dhatus. As a corollary, they might be applicable for bhi dhatu. That is what he wants to block. So he says bhayadinam upasankhyanam napumsake क्तादि निवृत्त्यर्थम नपुंसके भी धातोः क्त प्रत्ययः न भवति ल्युट् इति प्रत्ययः न भवति वासरूप विधेः संबन्धः एव नास्ति. There is no उत्सर्ग अपवाद relationship. Kta is for all dhatus, lut is for all dhatus, gha is for all dhatus. There is no question of utsarga apavada. So atra tadrisham api kimapi karyam na bhavati. This is purely for blocking the kta and lut pratyas for the bhi dhatu. So bhayam varsham ityatra bhi dhatoh vishishta rupena bhi dhatoh vishaye napumsake kta pratyayah mastu napumsake lut pratyayah mastu. The same argument can be extrapolated for the vrusha dhatu also, but for vrusha dhatu ajvidau bhayadinam upasankhyanam vartika does make sense, because vrusha was giving a ghai pratyaya that needs to be blocked and we want to get an acha pratyaya. So for varsha it's not that strict. That's why Tattva Bodhini also makes it clear varsha dhatoho lut api drishyate. So bhashye वृषभो वर्षणात् इति भाष्य प्रयोगः अस्ति. So ल्युट् अपि भवति. So this particular very strong statement of napumsake anya pratyayanaam nivrittihi bhavet, this particular argument is primarily for this bhi dhatu, because otherwise bhi dhatu was not required in this vartika. Eracha ityanenaiva tasmad ach pratyasya vidhanam bhavitum arhati. एवमेव वर्षधातोः विषये अपि एतादृशं वक्तुं शक्यते। वर्षधातोः नपुंसके क्त प्रत्ययस्य निवृत्त्यर्थं, वर्षधातोः विषये नपुंसके ल्युट् प्रत्ययस्य निवृत्त्यर्थं, बट दैट इज अ वीकर आर्ग्युमेंट बिकॉज वर्षधातोः विषये तादृशः एव अच् प्रत्ययः नास्ति, तस्य इदानीं विधानं करणीयम्, अतः अत्र अस्मिन् वार्तिके वर्षधातोः समावेशः, अपि च भाष्ये वर्षणम् इति प्रयोगः दृश्यते एव, अतः वर्षधातोः विषये तादृशं वक्तुं नैव शक्यते. Bottom line is the bhi dhatu is important in this vartika, and it is because of it is for napumsake ktadi nivrutyartham. And then he gives another vartika not given in Siddhanta Kaumudi, but he just gives a vartika in the context of Vedas. He says there are two words that are specific to Vedas, Vaidika usages, and they are to be used, they are to be defined, derived using the A Racha Sutram or using the Acha Pratyaya. So Java Savau Chandasi Vaktavyu. Ju and Su Ukaranta dhatus are there. In the Vedas, they will get Acha Pratyaya Swara Bhedaha. Appa will give the same form, Acha will give the same form, Swara Bhedaha. Tatra Javasavau Chandasi Vaktavyo iti Vartikena जू धातो जवः सु धातो सवः इति अच् प्रत्ययान्त शब्दौ वेदे भवतः इति अत्र आशयः. So that is basically the whole discussion of a racha. Where are we? Let's go to where did it go? Okay, here. So we finished the a racha pratyaya, a racha sutram. Only one sutram for the acha pratyaya. There's a question. लोके विद्यमानस्य जव शब्दस्य का व्युत्पत्तिः. सो लोके विद्यमानस्य जव शब्दस्य तत्र नन्दिग्रहि पचादिभ्यो ल्युणिन्य च इति कर्तृर्थे प्रयुज्यते चेत् तत्र अच् प्रत्ययः भवितुमर्हति. भावे प्रयुज्यते चेत् तत्र जू प्लस अप, that will also give java only, just the swara is different. So these days we don't even talk about swaras, but java savau chandasi, specifically when you are chanting about the Vedas, what happens is if you add an apa pratyaya, anudattau suppitau will make the pratyaya swara anudatta. If you do an acha pratyaya, chitaha or adyudatasha will make a pratyaya swara udatta. That udatta and anudatta really matters when you're speaking the Vedic mantras. Therefore, with a very keen eyesight, mahati sukshmekshika vartate sutrakarasya is what Kashika says at one place. So with a very keen eye to the details, he says Javashavau Chandasi gives an Acha Pratyaya instead of Apa Pratyaya. In the Loka, the question was what happens in the Loka for the word Java. If it is Bhave or Akartari Samnyayam, you can use Ju plus Apa. And if it is Kartari, you can use Acha by Nandigrahi Pachadibhyo. Okay, agre gacchamaha. Agrimam sutram rudorap. So now we are entering the third territory, the territory of the upper pratyaya. Dirgha rukaranta dhatuhu tatha cha uvarnanta rasva ukaranta dirgha ukaranta dhatu. Three categories: rasva ukaranta, dirgha ukaranta, and dirgha rukaranta. Etebhyaha apapratyah bhavati. रुकारांतेभ्यः दीर्घ रुकारांतेभ्यः उवर्णांतेभ्यः अपप्रत्ययः भवति. घयोपवादः. Obviously भावे अकर्तरि चकारे के was giving a घय, तस्य अत्र अपवादः. Very interesting point he brings up over here. Pit karanam swarartham. Appa ityasmin pratyaye pakarasya kim prayojanam. 2 minutes ago I spoke. It is for the swara. अनुदात्तौ सुप्पितौ. So pratyayah parascha adyudattashcha अनुदात्तौ सुप्पितौ. So अनुदात्तौ सुप्पितौ iti sutrena pit pratyayant sorry pit pratyayasya adiswaraha anudattah bhavati. That is the prayojanam over here. Why does he have to say this thing explicitly? Because pakara in general has a very important prayojanam in the krudanta prakriya, which is not being used over here. Raswasya piti kruti tuk ityanena pakaraha yatra itsamnyakaha asti tatra sarvada tugagamaha bhavati. So kvip iti pratyayah, kyap iti pratyayah, Up, not up, lyap iti pratyaya. So we have seen multiple pratyayas. Lyapa we will see at some point in time. But yatra yatra pratyaye pakaraha asti, tatra tatra taskrit pratyaye pakaraha asti, tatra tatra pakarasya kim prayojanam hraswasya piti kruti tuka iti tatra hraswaswarasya tugagamaha bhavati. That prayojana is not used over here. So there are very few pratyayas in the Krudanta Prakaranam where the pratyayas are pit pratyayas, but Raswasya piti kruti tuka is not used. This is one of them. So pit karanam swarartham. If you have a raswa ukaranta dhatu, say you, and you add an apa pratyaya, raswasya piti kruti tuka is not kicked in because it is not required. If you kick it in, if you bring it in, you will get anishta form. That's not the prayojan of Vyakarana. So he says pit karanam swarartham. For dirgha rukaranta dhatus, that raswasya piti kriti tuk is not a question. So dirgha rukaranta kru vikshepe, to scatter. So karaha, a chaos or the act of scattering. So thing has been dhanya, for example, that has been scattered. You can always use it in the bhave sense. Many times you can, if it the context makes sense, you can also use it in akartari chakarake sense. Garaha. So gru nigarane iti dhatuhu. Garaha, act of swallowing or the entity that gets swallowed, say a drink, for example. That is akartari chakarake samnyayam. Shru himsayam, sharaha, a fight or an arrow, the object of fighting, the entity with which the fighting is done. Uvarnantebhya, yu mishrana mishranayoho yavaha, lu chedane, to cut. So lavaha is the act of cutting. Pavaha, the act of cleaning. Pu shuddhau pavane iti asti, the act of cleaning, and so on. So ru varnantad, u varnantad, up. Same examples has been. Stu is another example. Stavaha. Stu iti dhatuhu, to praise. So stava, the act of praising, or akaratri chakarake samnyam, the actual praise that is done. So stavaha, pavaha, same examples have been given over here. Now somebody is saying, should the sutra, where is ukara in the sutra? So I'm coming to that. Somebody actually, a different style of question, but they asked, the purpose of the question was this, that where is ukara? So ukara in the sutra is over here. So look at this. This rudoho is actually rudu iti tatra pratipadikam. Tasya panchami ekvachanam asti. Rudu iti pratipadikam. So rudoho tatra rudu iti samasta padam tasmat apratyah bhavati. And rudu, that's the ukara over there. So ru was obvious, ukara was not obvious, so that's ukara present in the rudu. So the breaking up, the dissection of this rudu word, it is rudda plus u, that is rudu. And somebody might just say, an obvious doubt over here, it can also be rutta plus u, because jhalam jashonte will convert to the, and then eventually the final form will be same rudu. So rudu ityatra rutta plus u iti vigraha, utar rudda plus u iti vigraha iti prashnaha. So you can have rudda plus u, or you can have rutta plus u, and this rutta plus u looks like a more correct vigraha, because there is a takara, one can bring in tapara karnam and all sorts of taparas tatkalasya, and all that can happen. So is it rutta plus u still giving rudu, or is it rudda plus u? So the answer is that if you assume rutta plus u, then this tapara karnam will affect ukar also, because taparas tatkalasya, the ta which is sandwiched in between, affects the immediate left entity and immediate right entity. Adeng gunaha ityatra at eng, tatra takarena अकार तकारस्य अकारेण सह अपि अन्वयः, एङ् इत्यनेन सह अपि अन्वयः. सो तत्र तकारस्य उकारेण सह अन्वयः भवति चेत् त प्लस उ इत्यत्र उकारस्य तपरकरणं भवति. तपरस्तत्कालस्य सवर्णग्रहणं विल बी ब्लॉक्ड, एंड दिस उ विल नॉट support दीर्घ उकार. सो अत्र तपरकरणं स्वीक्रियते चेत् उकारेण दीर्घ उकारस्य ग्रहणं न भवति, तपरस्तत्कालस्य इति निषेधात्. परन्तु दीर्घ उकारस्य ग्रहणम् अवश्यमिष्यते. भू becomes भव, So for example, we know that dirgha ukaranta dhatus also get upper by this sutram, and therefore we want ukara to do the savarna grahanam, and therefore we cannot have a takara over here. Therefore the only answer, possible answer, is dakara. So ruta plus u iti vigrahah kriyate chet taparastatkalasya iti ukarena savarna grahanam nishidyate. If the savarna grahanam tasya bhedah bhavati, तर्हि दीर्घ उकारांत धातोः अपप्रत्ययः न भवति, परंतु प्रयोगे दीर्घ उकारांत धातुभ्यः अपप्रत्ययः दृश्यते. We also have a sutram called bhuvav prabhavah. There is a sutram in the karaka prakaranam. This is a sutram that gives apadana karaka. This sutra has the word bhava, which is bhu plus apa. So Panini himself uses the apa pratyanta word in Ashtadhyayi. Obviously prayogas are valid, and therefore tatra अपप्रत्ययः अवश्यं दृश्यते दीर्घ ऊकारांत. This is a typing mistake. दीर्घ ऊकारांत शब्देभ्यः, we are talking about ह्रस्व उ versus दीर्घ उ. So दीर्घ ऊकारांत शब्देभ्यः अपप्रत्ययः अवश्यं दृश्यते, अतः अत्र तपरकरणं नापेक्षितम्, and therefore you have रुद plus u दकारेण विग्रहः करणीयः. Now there is a question, what is the, I mean, will the taparakaranam happen, assuming that the vigraha is rutta plus u, will the taparakaranam happen for dirgha rukara? Understand that dirgha letters never do savarna grahanam. The savarna grahanam is always done only by the rasva letters. So when you have dirgha rukara, you don't even need to worry about whether the taparakaranam will happen or taparakaranam not happen. Why? Because understand this very basic aspect, it is taught all the way in some first 20-30 sutras of Kaumudi. Tapara karanam blocks savarna grahanam. Savarna grahanam kevalam hrasva swarena bhavati. Anudit savarnasya cha pratyah. Ana does not include dirgha swara over here. So only hrasva swaras can do savarna grahanam, and that savarna grahanam can be blocked by the ta present over there. If a dirgha swara does not do the savarna grahanam at all, there is no question of blocking that savarna grahanam. That's the reason in vruddhiradaich tatra a ittenena savarna grahanam na bhavati. Ai ittenena tatra an pratyahare tasya prayogah asti, atah savarna grahanam bhavati. So let me clarify, let me make it more clear. When the swara has a rasva and a dirgha bheda, like a, like e, like u, the rasva swara will do the savarna grahanam. If there is dirgha and pluta bheda, like vruddhiradaich, I has a dirgha and a pluta bheda, then dirgha will do the savarna grahanam. So anything which is present in the ana pratyahara will do the savarna grahanam. Ayuna ruluka eyong ayaucha tatra akaraha nasti, tatra dirgha rukaraha nasti, atah tena savarna grahanam na bhavati. So discussion of ta and savarna grahanam is not applicable to dirgha rukara. It is applicable only to ukara. We do not want the savarna grahanam. That's the reason dakara is being used. So rukara dirgha rukarantebhya uvarnantebhya ch apapratyaya bhavati. घय प्रत्यय से अपवादः पित कर्णम स्वरार्थम करः गरः शरः उ वर्णांत धातवः यु यवः लु लवः पु पवः दकारः मुख सुखार्थः, not for the taparagaranam. Same thing is explained in the Kaumudi. Whatever I discussed just now is also explained in the Nyasa. You can take a look at it later on. Agrimam ekam sutram svikritya viramamah. So graha vrudru nishchigamascha. Actually, some interesting discussion is there. So we'll take some 15 minutes on this and then we will stop. So graha vrudru nishchigamascha vishishtaha dhatavah santi etesham vishaye. There is a question. Let me take this first. Which is the swara sutra that gives the pitta swara all the way at the beginning? Anudattau suppitau iti sutram asti. Pratyayah parascha advidattascha anudattau suppitau iti sutrena pit pratyayah asti chet. It's 314. You can actually go to the sutra part and see 314. Anudattau suppitau पित् प्रत्ययः अस्ति चेत् तत्र प्रत्ययस्य आदिमः स्वरः पित् प्रत्ययानां प्रथमः स्वरः अनुदात्तः भवति. So all the way in the beginning he gives this particular sutram of pratyadhikara. Anyway, agre gachamah graha vrudru nishchigamasha. We'll take this sutram and we will stop. तत्र किमस्ति ग्रह धातोः अपप्रत्ययः, वृ धातोः अपप्रत्ययः, द्रु धातोः अपप्रत्ययः, नी तथा ची धातोः अपप्रत्ययः, गम धातोः अपप्रत्ययः। सो सर्वत्र एतेभ्यः धातुभ्यः अप इति प्रत्ययः भवति। सर्वत्र घय प्रत्ययस्य अपवादः। ग्रह would have got a ghaya, vru dru would have got a ghaya, ni plus chi would have got an acha because of a racha that is being blocked and given as ghaya. Gama would be so given as upper. Gama would have got ghaya that is being blocked and given as upper. So grahadibhya dhatubhya apapratyaya bhavati. Ghayopavadaha is a general statement. Nischinotehe achopavadaha. So I think this is the only example where ach is blocked and upper is given. If I'm not mistaken, in none of the other cases, ikaranta dhatoh vishe kimapi vidhanam asti. So I think this is the only situation where an acha is being blocked and upper is being given by graha vrudru nishchigamascha chi dhatuhu tatra asti. Tasmat acha pratyasya vidhanam badhitva apapratyah bhavati. Graha. So now I'll not explain, the prakriya is obvious. Graha plus upper will be graha, vara, dara, nishchaya, gama, and so on. It's pretty easy to understand. Nishchigrahanam swarartham. So it was giving acha, now it is giving upper. What's the big deal? Swara is the big deal. So nishchigrahanam swarartham. That's exactly what Kaumudi says. Appasyat ghayachoho apavadaha grahaha varaha daraha nishchayaha gamaha and so on. Now there are two Vartikas over here. We'll take those little important discussion for Vartikas. So somebody is saying there is seems to be some confusion about the Dirgha Rukara and Rasva Rukara font. So I think on these sheets, this looks like a Rasva Rukara, or whether I have printed a typed a Rasva Rukara by mistake, I don't know. I'll fix this. This should actually become Dirgha. On slides, I don't know, this is how the Dirgha Rukara gets printed, like this. But if you see a mistake, just point it out, I'll fix this on the slides. On that sheet, I think a different font is used, but I'll take a look why it is printed like that. Anyway, coming back to the sutram. So atra vartikam vashirannyoho upasankhyanam iti prathamam vartikam ghayarthe kavidhanam sthasnapa vyadhihanir iti aparam vartikam, and Kaumudi has yet another vartika which we will look at the next slide. Vartikas are actually simple. Vashirannyoho upasankhyanam vashakantau iti dhatuhu रण शब्दे इति धातुः तत्र एतयोः द्वयोः धात्वोः अप iti pratyaya bhavati. So otherwise you would have got ghaya that is being blocked and you get an appa. So vashirannyoho upasankhyanam, vashaha, the act of keeping somebody in control. Ranaha, this is actually used in akartari chakarake samnyayam. Rana is the battleground. So rana shabde iti arthaha asti rananti khadgani asmin kshetre सः रणः नो चेत् रणन्ति खड्गानि यत्र तद् रणं युद्धं संग्रामः युद्धक्षेत्रं भिन्नाः अर्थाः सन्ति शब्दायन्ते रणन्ति खड्गाः और खड्गानि whichever लिंग अस्मिन् क्षेत्रे अस्मिन् स्थले इति रणः. So that's two dhatus he had just listed in the vartika over here. So the same vartika over here vashiranyo upasankhyanam. The next vartikam is interesting. He says for some dhatus you also get a ka pratyaya. So understand this, we are now talking about ghaya, acha, apa, and he brings another pratyaya as a part of a vartika, and he says for these dhatus you get a ka pratyaya. The context is same. The context is bhave akartari chakarake. So he says ghayarthe, घय प्रत्ययस्य अर्थे क विधानं भवति केभ्यश्चन धातुभ्यः. स्था इति धातुः अस्ति, स्ना इति धातुः अस्ति, पा इति धातुः अस्ति, व्यध इति धातुः अस्ति, हन इति धातुः अस्ति, युध्य सो युध इति धातुः अस्ति. एतेभ्यः धातुभ्यः सर्वत्र अकर्तरि चकारके संज्ञायाम् इति संदर्भः. सो कुत्रचित् क प्रत्ययान्त शब्दाः तत्र साधुत्वं प्राप्नुवन्ति, तेषां व्युत्पत्त्यर्थम् इदं वार्तिकम्. सो घञ् अर्थे क विधानं भवति Vishishtanam Shabdanam Nirmanartham. Basically, he is saying in this context, for certain dhatus, for derivation of certain words, give a ka pratyaya. So pratishtante asmin iti prasthaha parvatasya prasthaha pratishtante asmin iti पर्वतस्य प्रस्थः सम धान्यादिकं स्थलं धान्यादीनां एकत्रीकरणस्य स्थलम् इति प्रस्थः इति सन्दर्भः इति तत्र शब्दस्य प्रयोगः भवति प्रश्नाति अस्मिन् इति प्रश्नः शॉवर रूम बाथरूम व्हाटएवर प्रश्नः प्रपिबन्ति अस्याम इति प्रपा a water fountain in which you go or a place specifically a place where you go and drink water so prapibanti asyam in that place. So not the bottle or something from which you drink, but a bigger place where you go and drink water. So prapibanti asyam iti prapa. Avidhyanti tena iti avidhaha, some weapon, khadgam. Vihanyate, vihanyante asmin iti vignaha. So karyani vihanyante, tesham nashaha bhavati, manamsi chittam vihanyate, tad vignaha. So obstacle. आयुध्यते अनेन इति आयुधम again a weapon iti atra sarve arthaah bhavanti. So these are very specific words prasna prastha prapa avidha vigna ayudha. All these words have been derived in this particular vartika. Kaumudi gives only two examples, prastha and vigna. This vigna word a little bit involved prakriya, so I could have given you for a homework, but I just thought I'll give it the prakriya over here. So hana iti dhatuः अस्ति गमहन जन खनघसाम लोपः कित्यनंगी इत्यनेन क प्रत्ययः किमर्थं तत्र ककारः प्रयुज्यते अस्य अत्र कारणार्थं. So कित्यनंगी अत्र अकारस्य लोपः. All this has been taught in previous classes. I'm just revising. अकारस्य लोपे कृते हकारस्य घकारादेशः हो हन्तेर्निन्नेषु विघ्न इति शब्दः सिद्ध्यति. सो प्रस्थ इत्यत्र अपि आतो लोप इति च इति आकारलोपः भवति. प्रश्न इत्यत्र आतो लोप इति च इति आकारलोपः. पा इत्यत्र अपि आतो लोप इति च इति आकारलोपः. तदनन्तरं स्त्रीत्वे विवक्षिते टाप् प्रत्ययः. सो अस्याम् इति प्रयोगः. सो प्रपा. अन्यत्र सर्वत्र केवलं गुण निषेधः. विध प्लस गुण निषेधः. I think same here also. युध इत्यत्रापि गुण निषेधः. Give me 1 minute. There is a sutram grahijyavyai. This one. So samprasaranam bhavati. That's what I was thinking. Grahijyavyai vyadhi. So vyadha tadane iti dhatuhu. Tatra ka pratyay krute samprasaranam bhavati. So I think it's a vyadha plus samprasaranam. That's what. So vyadha iti dhatuhu. Tatra grahijyavya iti samprasarane krute avidha iti siddhyati. So here this is also an interesting part of prakriya. I should have written this. Samprasaranam bhavati, but you should be able to do all this on your own. I mean, we have come across more than 100 classes now. So atra samprasaranam bhavati, atra guna nishedhaha bhavati. Upadha guna nishedhaha bhavati. 2 more minutes and then we will stop. So in Kaumudi, there is one more Vartika given. You don't find the trace of that Vartikam in Kashika, but Kaumudi gives another Vartikam. He says for three dhatus, dukrui karane, klidu ardri bhave, and knasu harana diptyoho, to say procure or to steal or whatever. Ghai pratyasya arthe ka pratyah. So just like the previous one, ghai pratyasya arthe ka pratyah, parantu tatra prakriyayam dvitvam api kriyate. So for these three dhatus which are not in this list, so in this list you have stha, sna, pa, vyadha, hana and yudha. For all these dhatus you get a ka pratyaya for the ghaya, but there are dhatus over here. For these you get a ka pratyaya for ghaya and you get a dvitva. Understand this. I think I did not mention it explicitly, but these particular vartikas are only for deriving specific prayogas. These vartikas do not say that ka pratyaya permanently belongs ghaya in all contexts. That's not what we are talking. Only in that specific context for deriving those specific words, instead of ghaya pratyaya you get a ka pratyaya. Otherwise you definitely will get a ghaya pratyaya for whatever other prayogas are there. So kru dhatuhu asti tatra घय प्रत्यय कृते कारः इति रूपम् अवश्यं सिद्ध्यति. But that's not the context over here. The context is specific derivation of words like chakra or chiklida or chaknasa. These are basically all the instruments they are used in the karana sense. I think akartari chakarake samnyayam. So kriyate gamanam anena iti chakram. No chet kriyate yuddham anena iti chakram iti api arthaha. क्लिद्यते आर्द्री क्रियते आर्द्री भवति अनेन इति चिक्लिदम् हरणं करोति अनेन इति चक्नसः इति भिन्नाः तत्र वृत्तयः भवितुम् अर्हन्ति. सो द्वित्व प्रकरणे के इत्युक्ते क प्रत्ययस्य विषये क्रियादीनाम् इति वक्तव्यम्. सो if is written in a reverse way. So क्रियादीनां के क प्रत्यये परे द्वित्वं भवति इत्युक्ते तेषां परिगणनं द्वित्व प्रकरणे कर्तव्यम् इति idam vartikam. So here are the prakriyas. So kru iti dhatuhu k iti pratyaya tatra dvitvam bhavati urat urandraparaha haladisheshaha kuhoschuhu. Finally you get chakra. Similarly klida sutras are like haladisheshaha kuhoschuhu. There is nothing else. Chiklida chaknasa. So these are the words chakram, chiklidam, chaknasa. These are the words that are generated using this particular vartikam. So that completes the discussion of graha, vrudru, nishchigamascha. I wanted to discuss a few more. The greed never ends. So I wanted to discuss a few more, but let's stop on time and we will continue next week. We'll need at least 2-3 more classes, I think, to finish up this entire ghai, ach, up. So ghai is now done, but to end acha and appa prakaranam, we will need a few classes. And then we have something else. So we have this three, athuch, nang, nan, lut. So it's going to take a while before this entire sheet ends. But अद्य अत्र समापयामः ग्रह वृद्रु निश्चिगमश्च इति सूत्रमस्माभिः अधीतम् अग्रिमवर्गादारभ्य उपसर्गेदः इति सूत्रात् प्रारभामहे. Last class, previous class, I did a lot. I spent initial 10-15 minutes in the revision. I don't want to do that because every minute I spend in the revision, I have to push the newer sutras ahead and ahead. So in the next class, I'll directly start with say graha vrudru nishchigamasha. We are starting with appa. So I'll maybe do a quick revision of rudo, rapa and graha vrudru nishchigamasha and then move on. It's better if you can, quickly revise before the class. So atra abhyasaha. So the exercise is basically, I'll not read it, but basically you create two tables, one for question 1 and one for question 2. ईवर्णान्त धातुभ्यः ए रच इति अच् प्रत्यये प्राप्ते कुत्र कुत्र घञ् प्रत्ययः भवति and rudo rap iti uvarnant dhatubhyah dirgharukarant dhatubhyah ap pratyay prapte kutra kutra ghai pratyah bhavati. So essentially I am asking you to do a tabular summary of the ghai pratyaya coming as an apavada. In the first question you would like to say it is an apavada for a racha. So a racha iti sutrena ach pratyayah asya apavadattvena केभ्यः धातुभ्यः कुत्र कुत्र घञ् प्रत्यय विधीयते. So a list of घञ् which is apavada of ach versus a list of घञ् which is apavada of apa. Just make two tables, one for each sutram, and it will be immensely useful for you even for your further studies, because if that table is understood, then you don't need to listen to any of these classes. So that is a very important sort of revision that I'm asking you to do. If anybody writes the homework, creates the table and sends it to me, I'll just upload it on the portal. That actually reminds me, the answers to a lot of previous homeworks have already been uploaded. So I think we stopped homework discussion from exercise 103 or 102 or something. I think from 102, the answers from 103 onwards, I think up to 111 have already been uploaded on the portal. Those who are interested can take a look, verify, download, study from those answers. The answers from 112, I'll upload it sometimes, say next month or so. So I'm accumulating some 8-10 exercises and I'll bulk upload the answers on the portal. If anybody of you sends the answers to these, I'll just correct and I'll just copy these in the final answer sheet. We are not having exercise discussion sessions, but if you still want to send, I can just upload these on your behalf on the portal for others to use. So ityalam samapayamah agrima saptahe niyamitarupena kaksha dvayam bhavishyati. There is one question that's take. So was there a sheet with all the answers? No, there was no sheet with all the answers. I mean, it was never created in the beginning. The sheet only had all the questions together. So this is the sheet where all the questions are present from homework number 1 to homework number whatever 115. There is no sheet where all the answers have been collected. The answers are always in the individual answer sheets, because till now people were volunteering and writing the answer sheets, so I just uploaded them separately. After that I have started writing and started uploading it. अस्तु समापयामः। अष्टाध्ये जगन्माता यस्य चित्तात् समुत्थिता वेदानामुपकाराय तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। शब्दब्रह्म समाराध्य कृतवान् यो विलक्षणं सर्वाक्षरमिदं शास्त्रं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। धन्यवादः।